Can you figure out which one of these squishmallows is a cake? If you said the pineapple, you are correct, and I am going to show you how I made it. A squishmallow is actually as wide as it is tall, so I baked 3 8-inch cakes and 1 8-inch dome and made sure it would stack up to about 8 inches tall. After I carved out the shape of this guy, I started filling it. So I went for sort of a Boston cream flavor. It's yellow cake layered with vanilla whipped custard filling and coated with the chocolate ganache. I really like working with ganache because you can get a really smooth finish, which is important if you're going to cover it with fondant, and it holds its shape really well, and fondant is going to show all the little bumps and imperfections. I'm using this little scraper, which is actually just a piece of thin plastic cutting board that I cut into a small rectangle. It works great to help smooth things that are curvy or oddly shaped. Once I was satisfied with the shape of our friend, I spritzed it with a tiny bit of water. This will help the fondant adhere to the surface of the ganache. Because squishmallows have a side seam, I decided to put on the fondant as 2 halves. You can cover it all in one go with a larger piece of fondant and use a tool to make a seam, but for me it was easier to roll out 2 smaller pieces and do one side at a time. Once that was done, we're ready to paint on his grid. So I took some golden yellow gel color and mixed it with a tiny bit of vodka. You can also use lemon extract, clear, vanilla, Everclear. Basically a clear edible liquid that evaporates quickly so you don't end up with soggy fondant. Fondant and water is just not a good combination. Now our pineapple has this little belly for some reason. So I made a paper template of it so I can make sure that I got the size and the shape right before cutting the fondant. So after putting that on, I used a tool to make some creases to give it a fabric effect. Then we stick on this happy little face. So I made tiny marks on the fondant first to map out where the center of the eyes and mouth should go, so then they can be placed on accurately. For the pineapple crown, I also made a template. I'm a big fan of templates. I colored some fondant green, rolled it out somewhat thick, and used my template to cut out the shape. Once I was done cutting, I added some creasy details and added toothpicks so we can stick this on its head. And the thing that really makes our pineapple look squishy are even more creases. I love giving things texture, and it's always the little details that really make a cake stand out. And there you have it, our pineapple squishmallow with its squishy family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more cake making, or leave a comment below with your idea of what other fun cakes I should make.